Hoy hoy. Sorry it's been such a long time. Testing. Finally got set up in the workshop. It has taken a very long time because it's meant sorting out my own life, to be perfectly honest. What I've done is I got rid of my herb garden and built a shed, a metal shed. Watch that little video here. That was enormous fun. Thank you very much, Steve Simmons, for helping. If you're building, by the way, hints for a shed, if you're building a 6x8 shed, make sure the gap you're putting it in is larger than 6x8, or have a very skinny friend to help you. After that was done, I had to clear out the garage, which give you a guided tour around now. So this is it finally, all set up. Quick tour around what I got. Thankfully at last I'm sorting out putting things in boxes. How about that? Obviously still used a bit for gardening. As somebody spotted on Instagram, yes, there's part of a Fender Twin down there. After buying a router table, I found that one for £6, so we'll work out something from that yet. Always keep your tools nice and clean and ordered. I do need to work a bit on that. And there's your first fish of the day. I've got a record power bandsaw, the 250, second hand on eBay. Wonderful. Needed a bit of tuning, cleaning, still does. Make your own tool board. All it is a piece of plywood screwed into the wall. One Triton router and router tabletop, and some pictures from my grandfather's workshop. As the rule goes, you can never have too many clamps. My movable toolkit. On the top I've got electric supply, a sander, much needed, scroll saw, great fun. Even if you're not making guitars, I'd advise one just for fun. The Triton oscillating spindle sander, a pillar drill, an arbor press, which I'm going to have fun with later. I've got Dremel set up there, and that, believe it or not, is my amp, and you can play music through it too. There is a bunch of guitars all waiting for something to be done to them. But more importantly is the workbench. And the fish, of course. I'd bought one workbench and then customised it and changed it quite a bit. There's a bit of storage underneath, which is good. Old workbench tops, which you can get from your local DIY store. B&Q sell offcuts for pennies, which I'd thoroughly advise. There's paper down there, a good surface for working on. I'd probably like it a little deeper, to be honest, but I'm still trying to work out which are the tools which need to be in front of me. But certainly, you know, we've got a voltmeter there, a few knives, screwdrivers. The world's most important thing, a power drill with your ever to be charged system. A recent purchase which I should have plugged the dust extractor into, because even on a small job which I was just testing it on, it has kicked so much sawdust out. I'm going to have to properly clean again. Soldering iron. At last I've got one with a variable temperature, so I will stop burning through things. Down here is a dehumidifier. Because this is a garage, as much as I seal the door, it's still going to get damp at times. And I've got a set of shelves here from my old, well, they were in here, but they were for sort of household things. So, safety, cloths and liquids, tools, that's loads of tape and fixing stuff, quite a bit of corian and sandpaper and cork, electric cables, spare bits of junk wood. I've made a little flat sanding surface out of a really flat piece of worktop. I'm going to try and upgrade that to a piece of granite or a piece of glass if I can find one that's at a reasonable price. And then, because I'm me, there's a bunch of part finished projects, bodies and necks and yeah, another fish and some face and eye protection. Apart from that, I think that's pretty darn good. Oh, and importantly, lots of lights. That was also a nightmare. I'd put all of my grandfather's tools and some of my belongings in here, and it just couldn't see the floor, couldn't see the back wall. The local dump now know me by my first name, and the charity shop know the gift aid number without me needing to pin it on any bags or boxes. It is a great sense of accomplishment to get yourself set up and cleaned up and ordered in some ways here, and I've got to that stage. Picking up tools has been an interesting job. Second-hand sites, Gumtree, there's a marketplace on Facebook, there's eBay, which everybody knows. There is also FreeCycle. I've met some fascinating people and got some good ideas and hints from them. So, what am I going to do first? I'm going to try and do 3 things at a time. Why? Because I'm sure I get bored quite quickly and need to move on to something else to move my mind off it. So I'm going to do a raw build from scratch, I'm going to do a repair, and I'm going to do some of my half-finished kits. the first thing I'm going to do, which will be in a fortnight's time, is to build the dumbest, simplest guitar that I can, and you can too. And I'm going to be using CLS, which is dumb, cheap timber from your local DIY store. I'll possibly put some links up to what to buy. I'll do that in the next video, so then you can join along. It's going to be fun, it's going to be easy, hopefully. I can't fail, but any lessons I learn along the way, you're welcome to join. Apart from that, I am genuinely happy how things have turned out. Now I've just got to get some decent timber and draw up some plans. In fact, it's time to cut to the other space. And things have cleaned up so well that I've managed to get my own conservatory back. Except, of course, I'm not going to be using it as a dining table. Great pleasure in drawing my first centerline of a new guitar last night. Let's see what happens next. Thanks to everybody who's helped me. So, Steve, Bill, other Steve, everybody at Crimson, obviously. And I'll just sign off by saying hi, Craig.